Now, these days, there are a lot of different ways that you can incorporate AI into your creative process with music production. But one of the most fun and useful ways that I've found is to use Co-Producer by Output. And essentially the way it works is you input a text prompt of some kind with various parameters, and it will spit back a few options for sample packs. And it's totally free, and the sample packs that it gives you are royalty free, so you can make music with them without any worries. So let's just take a quick look at how it works, and then we'll make a beat with whatever we get. Sound good? Let's do it. So this is kind of what the website looks like once you find Co-Producer on Output's website. And if you already have an Output account, it's pretty easy to just jump right into this. But you basically just have a text box here, and as per their website, they give you a few tips on how you can basically maximize the potential that you'll have a good sample pack that it returns back with. The first tip is to describe the vibe. Okay, so you could say something like, 90s grunge rock with female lead vocals or something to that effect. The next thing you want to do is make sure that you're illustrating the instruments. You're giving it some sort of descriptor for the instruments, like, a groovy bass line, aggressive punk drums, that kind of thing. You can also include the key and the BPM and then regenerate the prompts if you don't like what you get. So let's try out something here. Let's do nostalgic 80s synth with funky bass. Let's see what we get with this. Okay. Ooh. We can work with that. We can definitely work with that. So the way that this works is you basically download a zip file with all of the track stems and the samples in there. So I just dragged in all the track stems to different tracks inside of Ableton here. And I'm just going to see if we can, make something cool out of this. Kind of a classic, maybe 80s chord progression, like an 80s ballad chord progression. So I kind of like how these two combine together with the chords. I just don't like the sort of staccato thing happening there. So what I'm gonna do is just try to recreate that on this electric piano here. So here's what I could sort of extract from that. So nice and simple. And one thing I also want to do with the second half of this main loop here is I want to find a way to change something about it when it repeats so it's not so boring. If we take let's say the first chord and we just drop it on the very last part and then we change it down, we'll turn warping on so we can keep it the same time frame. And if we just lower it by 5 semitones, let's see what this sounds like. It's nice. It's nice. So now let's take a listen to this pad sound that was also in the sample pack. I actually really like how that sounds. I'm just going to turn it down significantly and just make it kind of a nice little texture in the background. Now the other instrument that we've got here is the lead guitar sound. That kind of country sounded thing that was in there. I like it. I kind of just want to keep this last part though. Next up we have the drum sounds, and this is what I was given. It's a little crazy for my liking, I think. What about this percussion? Okay, so we got some shakers there. I'm gonna mute the shakers because we might want them later on, and I'm definitely going to mute this drum machine. Let's come up with sort of a fresh pattern that we can use here. I'm thinking that we could use like an 808 kit because it's kind of, it's kind of an old school sound. And so why not use an old school drum machine to kind of, you know, accentuate that a bit. Also, instead of using a clap sound or the classic 808 snare, I kind of want to find a different snare, that more of a modern snare that we can use. Let's do, there's one called Views, I think. Yeah, this one that I really like, that's sort of modern, but also kind of has that 808 feel to it. So I'm just gonna drag this onto our snare here. Let's make a little beat with this vibe right here. One thing I like about using these kits instead of individual samples is that sometimes they have like the choke groups set up already. So for example, if you use a closed hat and then you open up the hat and then you close it again, they don't like play at the same time. So it's just kind of a nice little detail that you don't have to worry about really. Good start. I think the next thing I want to add is some bass. See if we can get, you know, kind of a nice little groovy bass line going instead of what we were given in the sample pack. Let's just make something up here. And I really just want to follow the kick pattern that we've got here. And so I want the bass and the kick to really lock in. So we went a little crazy with the bass processing here, but I just want to show you quickly what I did to it. So I'm just compressing it, and then we've got a little bit of saturation to give some more harmonics, a little EQ. And then I also am using this chorus plugin just because it gives it kind of that like more old school feel. And I think it needed a little bit of spice. So, and then I've also just got a little bit of sidechain compression on just the lows, the super lows of the bass to help control the whole signal a little bit. So let's take a listen to how it sounds. I keep hearing like this like sound in the middle of the loop. So let me lay that down real quick. Show you what I'm talking about. You just have a sip of like ice cold water on a hot day. Just Now let's see if we can add some guitar in there somewhere. We'll just try to round out the song a little bit. I accidentally dropped my guitar earlier, just full on dropped it, so it's way out of tune right now. Maybe we could harmonize that a little bit, right? So. Can we add another one in? Let's see. Now maybe we can finish off with a little, I don't know, a little tambourine of some kind. Let's see what we can find here. And yeah, so it could continue on like that. That's just like the basis for the song. And I mean, there's nothing like making music from scratch, but we might as well take advantage of all the opportunities for technology to inspire some extra creativity in what we're doing. So until the next video, Happy music making, and I hope you found this useful. We'll see you very soon. Take care. Peace.